Roll Tide, everybody, and welcome to the Bama Tailgate Show. A little live Sunday action for you. Bama versus Georgia. Shank and I are going to talk about that and a lot more on the show today. So thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell as always, and let's get this thing going. Great to see you guys. How about a live show for you? That means it must be a pretty big week. Yeah, it is Georgia week. All right, Roll Tide, everybody. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. There he is, multiple national championships at Alabama. Our friend Shank. Good to see you, man.
What's going on, Mick? Happy
You
to
got
be
that
back
big
in the
smile
building.
today. Yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah,
ready, aren't you?
man. I am, man. I am, man. I'm also smiling because we got a much needed win this past Friday night on the high school scene.
There
If
you
any
go.
of y'all care,
Congratulations. Yeah,
we got
congratulations.
got a much needed win, man. So it's been a good weekend so far. And Bama's on bye week, so I wasn't overly stressed out for no reason yesterday. I actually got a decent nap in, you know what I'm saying? I got to watch Auburn lose and give up 10 sacks, so that always makes for a great weekend. Like 10 sacks, Mick, that is just unbelievable. My boy Hugh Freeze running four goals out of the end zone, but I,
Yeah. Well, I mean, so many things about that game, but I guess both of us are in the same boat. When Auburn loses, that makes us happy.
absolutely, man. Without a doubt, without a doubt. I hope they keep it up. I hope they keep it up, and I hope we keep trending in the right direction ourselves. That's where I am right now. It's a good
Yeah.
weekend so far, man.
Well, this is a big week. And there's so many things I want to get into on the show today. And first off, do you think, I guess the question is this: what does it say that the Alabama-Georgia game isn't the ESPN game day site? Because I was kind of surprised. I mean, I just figured it was going to be, and then it's actually Oregon and Penn State, which is another big matchup. But, man, I mean, to think that Alabama and Georgia in Athens is overlooked, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, especially considering the game Georgia just had against Tennessee,
Yep.
which was a great game, which is a great game. And I think real football fans know, man, this is a greater time, if not any, to tune into a Bama Georgia game. Because let's be honest here, Mick, we got a Bama team and we don't really know what we have right now.
Yep.
We got beat up on first game and we haven't really been battle tested since. And so. And then you look over on the other side and you see Georgia, who just pulled out a great game against Tennessee, a very tough fought win. And so they got tested a little bit and they were able to overcome that. And so you got us, man, who still haven't proved that we can pull wins like that out just yet. And
Yeah.
so if you're a true football fan, you're excited for this matchup, man. Just because Georgia has a young team, we have a fairly young team. Man, it's just a lot of guys on both sides that have a lot to prove. And this game will help them do that one way
Yeah.
or another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, I don't think it's a good trend for Alabama. Not that this marquee matchup isn't as marquee as another game. I mean, part of it's just the luck of the scheduling, or and also Georgia Tennessee was where game day was a couple weeks ago. But that was in Tennessee. But I don't like it. I mean, I want Alabama to still be the epicenter of college football. And I just kind of felt like when you know what I mean? When I saw that, I
Yeah.
was like, never once did I think that this was going to be not the not that I care that much about game day, although it's a lot better with McAfee and Coach Saban on there than it was
Yeah.
the last few years before that. I mean, I feel like McAfee saved the show. I mean, he just brings a good energy to it and everything.
No, he definitely does. And then you get our boy Sabo on there, man, who has who's just a fount of knowledge when it comes to football, and everybody
Yep.
wants to hear what he has to say. And but the biggest thing with us not being game day, man, it goes back to us being spoiled, man. It kind of bruised the ego a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
It bruises the ego a little bit. It's just like, what do you mean we're not the standard for game day? It's just like, what do you mean this isn't must see football? This isn't must see TV? Because that's what it feels like when they took that
Yeah.
away from us, man. But at the end of the day, man, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because Georgia's a very good football team. And we last time we played a team that was willing to hit us in the mouth, we struggled, man.
Yeah.
And so we got some worries here going into next weekend.
Well, let's get into that then. How does Bama match up with Georgia? I mean, we saw Bama beat Wisconsin. I watched Wisconsin lose to Maryland.
Mm,
And they looked about as bad as they did against Alabama. So,
yeah,
and it was there. It wasn't even in Maryland. Bama looked, like they didn't care about being at the game against Florida State. They looked really good. I thought played about a perfect game against Louisiana and Monroe, who they stink, but still, and then Georgia played a couple cupcakes, didn't look good. And then played that game against Tennessee, and Tennessee moved the ball on them. Should have beat them, just didn't.
yeah, yeah,
And they won. Kirby even said that at the end of the game. It's hard not to like Kirby. I mean, even though he's a Georgia coach now, he's like, hey, we felt like we should have beat them, and they beat us before. And he said this time, it kind of felt like they won, but we won. So I'm not, just kind of going into this. It doesn't feel like when Bama played Georgia in the national championship games.
all right, all right.
You know what I
Hey,
mean?
man,
Like, it just doesn't feel like this is like this, battle of the Titans, but it should be two pretty good teams, I'm guessing.
yeah, you see why I don't feel like that, Mick, because they took game day away from us. We lost some of the luster of the game, man. It killed some of the luster, man. God, man. But no, in all seriousness, man, it's just like I said, it's just two teams who don't really know what they have, man. And for Georgia, that was really the first time they've been tested this season, and they were able to figure out a way to pull it off. And I'm sure Kirby is happy that they're much better off learning lessons from a win than they are a loss. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it was the other way around for us. And so, but I do think these past two games, we've kind of figured out some things that works for us and figured out some places where we can have advantages and can make some things work in our favor. And I mean, we got a great receiving core, man. So,
Yeah.
eh, and as long as we figure out a way to just continuously get those guys the ball in some kind of way, get at least 150 in the rushing game, I think we'll be just fine. Because
Mm.
at the end of the day, man, it's not like we're terrible up front offensively. Our O line is pretty good. I still believe in them. Um, but it goes back to what we talked about last show, man. It may be a hard pill to swallow, but the run game may not just be our forte anymore. We might just be a team that spreads them out
Yeah.
and get the ball out our hands quick and let our playmakers make plays. And
Yeah.
if that's the case, I'm fine with it as long as we have an identity that we're confident in and something that we can stick to and consistently do well. I'll live. I'll live. I may cuss under my breath when we throw the damn ball 8 times in a row, but as long as we're staying ahead of schedule and getting first downs and we're making a profit offensively, I'll live, man. And so and to that sense, I mean, I think that's what we'll have to do against Georgia. We'll have to expose the coverage a little bit because they are a team that want to get after you. They want to send those blitzes, man, and make it uncomfortable for you. So in our defense, offensively, man, we need to be able to make our hot routes, make our reads, and get the ball out our hands quick and stay ahead of schedule, man. And I think we'll do just fine.
Yeah. Look, I'm with you on that. I got to remind everybody too, Bama's won 9 out of 10 against these guys. And they've clubbed them in some of these games. They've also won some classics against Georgia. And then they lost the one national championship game when we had 2 wide receivers go down for the year. When we had a full slate when we had our 2-star wide receivers, we beat them. And then I felt like we could have beat them. if the guys coming off the bench could have caught the ball for Bryce Young. He played a great game.
Yeah, he did.
He was so good, man. I'm sorry. I know I love a lot of our quarterbacks. Tua might be my favorite all-time Alabama player at quarterback. Coker was awesome. McCarron was awesome. I mean, all those guys. Mack was awesome. Hurts was awesome. But Bryce Young, man, God, he was so good, dude. Like he was just so good. So smart.
And he got his first win of the season today, by the way.
Did he? Good for him.
Yeah,
man.
he did.
I loved him.
They smacked the Falcons. God.
It was kind of making me laugh when they were talking about him not being any good at the NFL, because I was like, man, if the Ravens didn't have Lamar, I would be like, man, get this guy, because they're going to be stupid and give him up, and somebody's going to get him, and he's going to be a winner when he gets an offensive line around them, when they have established a run game and a pass game.
Yeah.
And that national championship, the one time we lost to him, we just didn't have anybody to throw to. I mean, the one guy, Ajay Hall, was bitching on social media about not playing, and he gets in the game and he's trying to catch balls like this and stuff. It was like, man, look, man, and I said this on the post-game show, and then Saban said it a lot afterwards. Don't complain about you're not playing when you get your opportunity, and you have to prepare for that opportunity. You're not ready, and the wide receivers weren't ready, or we'd have beat them 10 straight times, including last year, which was another classic, but we should have beat them by 60. Could have.
Yeah.
We took the foot off the gas.
Yeah, we did, man. Yeah, we did. I mean, and that led us to take the foot off the gas the rest of the season, is what it felt like. Jesus Christ, man. The second half of that game was horrible.
Man, you're so right. And think about this. Like, if you want to put, like, Coach DeBoer's Alabama in one game, it's that game.
Yeah.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, the beginning, the best Alabama I've ever seen. The second half, shitty. Just shitty. Except Ryan Williams with one of the most electrifying touchdowns you'll ever see.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, man, it's just you're right on that. That's just kind of on brand for how Alabama's looked since DeBoer's been here. We get off the hot starts and we struggle to finish games, and it just kind of is like that fourth quarter culture is just diminishing, man.
Yeah.
It's just diminishing because it was all about finishing the game in 4 quarters. And it's just not there anymore, man. We seen it a little bit against ULM.
Yeah.
You score that many points, you got to do something in the fourth, right? But
yeah. Hey,
I just want to say,
the rhetoric changed.
Your beef with ULM is the most random thing I never thought would be on my bingo card, dog. Like, I think about that. I'm just like, Mick has a whole beef with Louisiana Monroe. This is the most random thing I could ever think of in my lifetime. It's just like, who would have thought that?
All right, let me ask you this, man. First off, Judy sending you a shout out on your gear.
Appreciate you, Judy. Thank you.
Where were you in 2007? Where were you back then? Like, how old were you back then?
Oh, I was in middle school.
You had to be like middle school?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So and I don't want to age myself too much because I know everybody's watching. Mick looks like he was right next to you in middle school. But I was really at Alabama, covering Alabama, worked for Crimson Tide Sports Network at the time. I wasn't on the football broadcast. I wish I was. And I watched that game, and we lost. And then I went to Shreveport for the bowl games. I've been to like a ton of these Alabama bowl games. And I just remember riding down there, and they had put these billboards up. And I thought, you guys have effed up because I'm never forgetting this. Like everybody's driving, like, because we all had to drive through, I don't even want to talk bad about that area because I got some friends from Louisiana, but, and then I'm looking up and seeing that billboard, and I was like, man, what a bunch of losers, man. Just take the win. Now you got that. It came back to you. We didn't forget. And we should have scored 100 on you just to do it. So you're right. There is a beef there.
Oh,
you don't forget that stuff, Shank. You don't forget that stuff.
I see. Hey, I ain't gonna tell you how to feel, dog. I ain't gonna tell you.
Does anybody else remember this? Besides me, I don't remember exactly what the billboard said, but it was just something stupid, like rubbing it in.
You gotta
I'm
add
sure
that to the
somebody on the
list.
message board will tell
To
me.
the list of great Bama rivalries. We got the Iron Bowl. We got the LSU, the Tennessee game, and damn ULM.
This is a good transition point for us, and I'm gonna maybe I should just put this up on the screen, because you and I, one of the things that I tell you guys about Shank I always liked before I even worked with him was I knew him from the radio station in Tuscaloosa, and I was always a fan of the fact that you're versatile. You can talk football, but you could also talk. You told me you're a band guy, so you
Yeah,
like music. You got a great taste and music. You like culture. You like different stuff, right? It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just we're not just meatheads over here. We got we're diverse with our thoughts, right?
Facts.
So when I saw this, they sent me this here, Kalshi, right? It's one of our new partners, and what's pretty cool is you can basically bet on things outside of sports, right? So like, who's going to win when you see like the betting lines on like presidential elections, and
Nice.
here's one right here, music charts, Cardi B's album this year, what that's going to be, runner up USA song on Spotify, Drake's album this year, what is it going to be number one? Like you could go through here and just kind of, and it's, and bet on this different stuff. And I just thought it was cool. Like when they sent me this, I was like, man, I got to check this out, right? So it's legal in all 50 states. It's not really like
Nice. Nice.
gambling. It's more like basically just markets, right? You get better odds, no house vig. Prices are set by supply and demand. There's no limits. I mean, winners don't get cut off. Like sometimes they do that at different sites. Live trading, you're not blocked mid-game. Flexibility, cash out anytime you want. Transparent pricing. And it's not just, football. It's politics, economy, Oscars, grammars, pop culture, all that stuff. And it's also live on Robinhood. But I started going through here and I was like, what are some things that, I could like kind of throw out my thoughts on, because I do love music so much. And I saw Post Malone has the #1 album this year, right? No, people say 14%, yes, and whatever, no. And I just thought when Post came to the floor Bama, I think he tipped somebody like 20 grand. He's such a nice guy. I mean, like isn't that crazy? Like,
20
could you imagine
grand.
having that kind of cash? Like, somebody took real good care of me, I'm gonna take good care of them. That's legendary right there.
Nah, absolutely is. 20 grand is insane. Like, just
Can you
20
imagine having
grand.
that kind of coin?
No, no. I feel like God made sure I didn't touch that type of money right now, because I wouldn't know what to do with it, man. God, these girls already spend all my money. My
Oh yeah.
kids is just, they'd probably be even more spoiled, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You know?
Here's one for you. You can bet on Hurricane Gabriel.
Oh,
For us
wow.
down here on the coast, that's
That's a good
something
one
that
there.
we'll be worried about that. We all
Yeah.
feel like we're meteorologists anyway, right? So it's gonna be category 3 or category 2, right?
Hey, you can smell the rain in the air, baby. And I'm trying to tell you, if you're from the South, you know what I'm talking about. You can smell the rain when it's coming.
You can feel it. Hey, the hurricane winds too. Like when Hurricane Sally hit, I was living on the Bay House in Fairhope. I walked outside, like it looked like a war zone. And I thought, my son was in 3rd grade. I had to hold on to him. I was like, man, this wind, it's like it's going to pick him up and carry him away.
Right.
I mean, crazy how the wind is. But you could do economics, you can do mentions and financials. All just check it out. It's Kalshi, and that's Kalshi, and I'll even throw it up there. And if you guys want to try it out, I'm not telling you to put your house down on it or anything, but I'm saying if you want to have some fun, promo code's Bama Tailgate, and you get $10 in free betting if you go $100 in. So check it out. But
Yeah,
I'll
please,
leave it up
please
there.
don't put your house down on it.
Nah,
Please.
man, just have some fun with it though. That's the thing. Like, Here's a good one that you might like. Arizona iced tea price increase this year.
Ooh, I'm a huge Arizona fan now. I've been keeping up with my boy. He's trying to do everything he can to keep them prices down.
Has he? You know about
Yeah,
this?
yeah, he
See, I knew it.
has. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I like the peach tea. Okay. All right. Let's get back
Nice.
to. You can also obviously you can do football too. You can bet on Bama and Georgia and all that stuff there, but it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Kalshi.com. All right. That reminds me now. Biggest edge in this game, and I'll put the other thing back up. And I'm going to go first. I'm going to tell you. I think the biggest edge is. Man, Ty's been good, dude. Like his
Yeah, there you
accuracy, like
go.
he didn't get a lot of help at the Florida State matchup, right?
Yeah.
And who knows? I'm guessing that they're going to say Jam Miller's coming back. I'm going to guess that they're going to say that they're going to get the guy back on the defensive line, Tim Keenan, and I think that that's going to help Alabama. It's going to give them a boost. Obviously, they're going to have those guys out there. But Ty Simpson, I think he's better than Gunnar Stockton. I just do. I think if they give him a clean pocket, he'll pick them apart.
No, absolutely. I'm right there with you, Mick. That was gonna be my pick even before I heard your opinion there because, man, the team will go where Ty leads us. And when Ty plays well, we play well. We get into a rhythm as an offensive unit. And we play really good football. And Ty has been great accuracy wise. When he
Mhm.
doesn't hold on to the ball and he gets it out his hands, we look really good offensively. It's just when he starts to second guess things and he's having to hold on to the ball for a while, that's when things get out of whack for us. But I think Ty is the better matchup at quarterback. I definitely think he's better than Gunnar Stockton. Um, and I think he's more consistent, man. I just think he's more consistent of a quarterback than Gunner is, and I think he'll lead us to victory, man. But definitely having Jam and Tim Keenan back will absolutely help us, and Jam for sure because we've struggled in the run game to get anything consistent going, and so that'll be a big boost for us, man. He'll get a veteran presence back there at the running back spot. Some guy a guy that's gonna make the offensive line look a whole lot better than we have looked so far. You
Yeah.
know, and so I'm excited to have him back. And this is it's huge getting Tim Keenan back, especially with all the injuries we've had up front on the D line, man, within. And just getting him back, especially against Georgia, because they've proven they can run the ball on a consistent basis, and they're really good at it. And so to
Mhm.
have him in the middle clogging things up, man, that'll definitely help out our cause. And I'm excited to see him get back out there.
Do you think that's going to make a huge difference having him back?
I think
You know what I
so.
mean? And what I mean by that is it we haven't run the ball effectively. Is it an offensive line issue or is it a running back issue?
I mean, it's a little bit of both because they go hand in hand, man. Offensive line wise, you kind of depend on your running backs to make you right when things aren't perfect. You try to get a hat on the hat and get them the best chance to succeed. And when you got a guy like Jam Miller back there who has the reps, he has the experience, he's used to seeing a heavy load in big games like this, man, and he's able to make those necessary cuts that makes us look way better than what we are up front.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of the run game. Um, and just a confidence deal. This is a guy who's been around for a while now. And so he's not shying away in these big moments, and I think he'll step up and he'll have a good game for us. We absolutely need him to. Just because we know what Ty's gonna give us, man, but the running back room, that's the part that's kind of been a little iffy and a little up in the air. And so having him back could definitely solidify that trust that we need in the running back room.
Yeah. No, I hope you're right. And I see that there's a Georgia fan on the board. Thanks, man. Good to see you got some few Georgia fans. How about them dogs, man? I think we all know about Kirby because he did so
Absolutely.
much good stuff at Alabama. Shank played at Alabama when Kirby was the defensive coordinator. So you matched up against him at practice every day, and and obviously when he was at Alabama. Unlike Lane, he stayed until the very end and made sure that we got that championship and then left. So I like him a lot, but I want to beat him again.
Absolutely.
I mean, I got respect for him though. It's a different world now with the NIL and the transfer portal.
Yeah, it
Like watching
is.
them against Tennessee, like and us too. Like there's no dominant force right now in college football.
Uh, I wouldn't say that, man. I just think some of the schools who you're used to not being as good have kind of stepped up a good bit, and
Right.
that's
That's
thanks
true.
to NIL and the transfer portal. And so the playing field has evened out a little bit from a competition standpoint. Georgia's still very good. We're still very good. And I mean, it's just your Tennessees, your Missouris, your Vanderbilts, those teams have picked it up a good bit. And
Yeah.
they're good teams now. It's not like you can walk into Saturdays and it's a guaranteed victory anymore, you know. You got to be on your P's and Q's. And I mean, I love it. I love it. It's only going to improve the state of football. And I think it's important, man, because I was worried about the competitive side of it because everybody's just worried about money, right? And
Yeah.
and so how do we keep the game competitive? And with these teams improving at the rate they're improving, it only makes the game better. It's just like college football is a lot better when Florida State is a good team.
Yeah.
College football is a lot more fun when Tennessee has a good team, when the SEC is good as a whole. It's better for the game in general. And so you know, I may have had my reserves about it, but being in it now and just seeing the product, the drop off wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And I mean, the biggest thing is just all the off-season drama, man. Oh, this
Yeah.
guy's going here, this guy's going here. You look at the Nico situation, and I continue to say, I hope he don't win a game this year.
Yeah. I'm glad he's
Uh,
getting his butt whooped every day.
and yeah, man. And then he
To be
started
that
that big.
selfish.
And
And
then
and I
talk about you going to UCLA to be
yeah.
around better talent. It's like, come on, man, don't blow smoke up our butts. We know what's
No.
going on. Like, the money was good, the price is right. If you and your family want to do that, go do that. Cool. You feel me? But you don't talk about though. UCLA is a better school than damn Tennessee, and I hate Tennessee. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're better than UCLA, and their head coach has done a good job so far.
Yeah.
Man, you know, and that's what college football is about, though.
Yeah.
He didn't bow down to Nico. He went on to the next man, and he's produced a damn good football team so far. And so, oh man,
No, look,
um,
I agree with you. I mean, like the thing that Tennessee did that was great was they stood up to him. And I'd heard from, I spend a lot of time in Knoxville. I heard behind the scenes people were kind of getting fed up with him and his dad years before he even played a game. They were having
yeah,
problems with him in this NIL. And then for him to threaten the team before they went to play Ohio State in the college football playoff, and then obviously that stunt before their orange and white game.
hmm
Tennessee represented all of college football at that particular time. And so I
yeah,
was glad that they pulled the cord. Hey, by the way, guys, I want to tell you, I got this hat right here, and then I'm wearing this one, and I got other ones. QR code right there, Mick Nation Avenue D. And we're gonna give some of these away, which reminds me, Shank, I got some stuff for you.
nice.
I got you some stuff coming your way too. So
We
you
love
guys,
gear, baby.
yeah, we got you geared up, and then you guys can join that party too through Avenue D. And then again, thank you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and let's get let's get that number up right there, the eyeball up, so we'll do more of these live shows. So when you look at this matchup, what is an area of Georgia that Alabama can exploit?
Uh, Man, for me, it'll be the coverage unit. It'll be the corners, dog. I think that we have the edge with our wide receiver room.
Yeah.
I think their box is very good. The D line and linebackers, they're very good, very fast, so they'll make it tough for us in the run game. And so I think if we get out on the perimeter and get out on the edge, man, we have a chance to explode him and get some big plays. Because we got Jeremy Bernard, we got Ryan Williams, we have Scott and all the other guys, and so we have speed out there. We just got to get the ball in their hands, dog.
Right.
Man, I think. that's where we'll win this ball game. And so that's why Ty gives us the edge in this game because
Got to throw it. And that's
we
what
got to
Tennessee
throw it.
did. You know,
Yeah.
Aguilar hit some big passes. And,
Yeah.
when we've beaten Georgia, we've thrown the ball on them.
Yeah.
You know, we've run on them too, but we've thrown the ball on them. I mean, Jam Miller's had some big games against them. I mean, you look at some of the games that have taken place in this rivalry. I know you played in 2015, which was a rainy Sanford Stadium. I was there for the blackout. You know, some of the championship games have been amazing. In Tuscaloosa, you know, the game last year was memorable, epic. You know, but it's been Bama being able to throw the ball on Kirby's defense. Bama's played, I think, their best up front against Georgia. Watching that Auburn line last night, whew, man, that was terrible. Boy, that was terrible. 10 sacks, could have been 11, but there was a penalty on them that took one of them away. How about the last play of the game? The guy just runs right over the offensive lineman like it was like a high school guy against an NFL guy. Bama's got to have one of their best games up front to win this game, just because they got to give Ty the chance to throw the ball. And I agree with you. I think Alabama throwing the ball and hitting deep plays and getting the ball into Horton's hands, getting it to Jeremy Bernard, getting it to Rico Scott, you know, getting it to Hollywood Williams, you know, that those are the things, and not turning the ball over.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to protect the ball and we got to stay ahead of schedule, man. We can't have any dumb penalties. We can't get behind the sticks because Georgia's too good of a team and they take advantage of things like that. And so we're gonna have to have our best offensive game, man. It's gonna have to be our best that we've played so far this year. Just because that defense, it flies around. They fly
Yeah.
around to the ball, so we got to be on our stuff. And in the run game, we have to be just good enough. We got to be just good enough to grind out 3 to 4, 4 to 5 yards here and there, just to take some of that pressure off Ty, man, to keep them honest. We gotta make them sit some guys in coverage and try to protect against the pass. But in order to do that, we're gonna have to make some things happen in the run game. And I think we have the ability to do that. And like I said, getting Jam back would definitely help us a lot. Have one of our veteran leaders back on the field offensively and one of our more consistent guys. Um, that's my take on that, Mick, man. In order for us to be good offensively, Ty's gonna have to do what Ty does. And I also think we're gonna have to take the training wheels off some, man. We're gonna have to let him put the ball downfield. We gotta
Yeah,
generate some big plays
that's right.
offensively.
Yeah.
We can't be scared to put the ball downfield, man. We
No.
got speed out there on the edge, and we got to get those guys the ball. It can't just be dink and dunk. I don't think we're gonna beat Georgia that way.
Mm-mm. Well, I'm afraid of our defense, you know, and I know for us to win, we're going to have to score points, just the way it is. You know, I'm concerned about our ability to stop the run with this swarm defense. We didn't do it against Florida State, and we got a tough schedule. I mean, you can't even look past Georgia. I mean, this is one of the biggest
No,
games of the year. Then you look at what Vandy's doing to everybody, and then you look, you know, like, you know, South Carolina, I know they lost a couple games. They're good. Missouri's good. Like, there's so many good teams that can run the ball. And I know this is the next game, and it's the most important game right now, and it's a big game. I look at us up front. I go, we've got to stop the run. We got to. And I'm afraid that, like, we got to slow them down enough to be able to take advantage of our ability to throw the ball and score points, right?
right.
Because I know Georgia's going to run the ball, and they're going to stick to it. I mean, they did it against Tennessee. They threw it some, but they'll just grind you down with the run. And look at that overtime. Hey, I'm just going to give it to this guy. We're going to run him outside, and you're not going to stop him.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, Georgia has speed on offense as well, man. Same way we do. That guy Brent, he gets the ball in his hand and he makes things happen. And so that's definitely somebody to be scared of. But at the end of the day, I'm even though we get Tim Keenan back, I'm still worried about the run game because how much can he take? Like where is he realistically? Is he fully 100% back? Is he gonna last a full game? Do we have the depth to get him the rest when he needs
Mhm.
rest, you know.
Yeah.
We've struggled with injuries up front, and so I do have my concerns. But I think Kane shows up this game. This is me hoping that he's kept it so vanilla in preparation for this gauntlet that we're about to enter, man. And he just starts to throw the damn kitchen sink at people. I'm talking blitz after blitz,
Yeah.
and just making Gunner Stockton uncomfortable back there,
Yeah. Mhm.
making him making decisions before he wants to, getting the ball out of his hands. Um, because our pass rush haven't been the best, and so we got to send extra guys at him. We can't
Yeah.
allow him to just sit back there in the pocket and get through his progressions, right? We got to do something. And so I think this is the game where Kane kind of takes the training wheels off himself and starts sending some guys at him, man, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we've always been a defense that's generated pressure and made the other side uncomfortable and forced them into some untimely turnovers. And if we can do that defensively, that's going to help us overall as a team. If we can get all three phases of the game going, and I'm worried about special teams as well. Damn, we gave up a touchdown,
Yeah. On that
a
kick
kickoff
return.
return
Yeah.
touchdown, and, and now Georgia gets to see that on tape, and they got way better athletes
Yeah.
than what Wisconsin had, and so
I agree.
y-
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. But I feel like Bama's been trending in the right direction after the Florida State game. I mean, here's what I keep hearing. And I'm going to throw this up here because this is the next thing we're going to talk about. Where is the Tide's biggest edge, right? That's where we're going. But I want to say this. I heard through the offseason, practices are intense. The guys look crisp, all this stuff. I didn't buy into it. I'm doing a show with Clint on Cover Crimson when I was working there. And he's like, how did you, I didn't buy into it. And he's like, how did you know? And I said, I just felt like, because he's ear to the ground guy. Right. And I heard the same
right,
things, but I just felt like we were trending in the wrong direction on all these road games,
mm,
and I just thought that, like, I just didn't, until I see it, I'm not buying it. Right. I want us to go. It's not about even the winning and losing, Shank. It's just like, let's go out there on the road and just play a really good game,
right,
because we hadn't done that. We won some games. I mean, the last time we played a really good game on the road was LSU, but that defense they had the last couple years was atrocious. It's much better this year. They went out and revamped the whole thing. And
yep,
and I kept worrying about pass rush, obviously offensive line blocking, run blocking. And I thought there were some other things in there too that had nothing to do with that. The fact that Florida State had an entirely new team, you didn't have tape on them, stuff like that. But I'm looking for Alabama to take the intensity that they've had at the practices and what they have done the last two games, and a Coach DeBoer Coach DeBoer isn't on the hot seat because he's too expensive to get rid of. And I hope that's not what happens, right? But Greg Byrne is, because I'm just telling you, if we go in here and get our ass kicked, everybody's looking at him and they're going, why did we go get a guy who doesn't represent what this system is, when you could have gone and gotten all these guys that coached at Alabama that are at all these other programs, and we could sit here and name them off, Key and this guy and that guy, Lanning, and you can go through them all, right, that have this Alabama tie. They understand our culture, and then go get somebody that, if they go and play soft football, and that's what I'm talking about, they go in there and they get soft again, all hell's breaking loose. We do this show next Sunday. I'm not saying that, like, if they lose a great game like Tennessee lost, nobody's complaining. But if they go in and they play soft, Greg Byrne better watch out, because I'm telling you, what I'm hearing right now is that there's some people that with the money that aren't happy about some things with him. I'm not one of them, and I'm not advocating for him to get fired. I'm just telling you what I know. That's who DeBoer is playing for right now. And I've noticed that DeBoer has been a lot tougher. And the other thing is, are they going to do a blackout in Georgia? I don't know. But he better black out, because when he wears black, he's like 10-1. Not superstitious, Shank,
That's a
but wear your
bar.
black. Wear your black.
He say the boy better black out. That's a bar, Mick. But nah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. Because I mean, the boy, he's not our type of coach. He's not. He doesn't necessarily fit in with the type of lifestyle that we lead down here in Alabama football. Just because we are some tough SOBs, you know,
That's right.
and that's the way we've always carried ourselves, and
Always.
that's the way we've always played, and it's just, it, and that's the way our coach always stepped to the mic as well. You
Yeah.
know, Saban might have joked when he had his little scar on his face. Well, y'all should see the other guy, but that was him. You
Yeah.
know, when guys would get hurt and be on the ground, he's like, "Look, ain't none of that laying around shit. You either up or you down. You either injured or you not. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna lay on the ground and waller in pain. You either injured or you not." Man, that's just the way he led us, man. And just even all my old line coaches, they were just some tough SOBs, dogs. And you wanted to run through brick walls for them. And that was the culture. We were just more physical than you. We were tougher than you. If we were put in a phone booth or a fist fight, we were gonna walk out every time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how the type of team we were. Man, I feel like they're gonna have to adopt some of that going to play Georgia this week, man. Like, or else we're gonna have a repeat of what the Florida State game was.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, they
Yeah.
they 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 hit us in our mouth. We hit back for a few, and then we just kind of started to turn it down.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and so if we see a repeat of that, man, I don't think I'll be on this pod too happy talking about
Different
that
tone.
game.
It'll be a
Yeah.
different tone next
And
week,
yeah,
right?
I don't know if I could be optimistic anymore. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't think that's the case. I think after that Florida State game, they kind of understood where we needed to pick things up, especially from an effort standpoint. You see guys flying around with their hair on fire now. Looks completely different on film than what we did that first week. Man, and so hopefully this is one of those Bama teams like we've had in the past that each game they get a little better each week.
Yeah.
You know, each week they build on that experience, and each week you start to see a better team and a better product step out there on the field.
Yeah.
And so if we lose to Georgia and we go down swinging, everybody be okay with that because we're still trending in the right direction, and Georgia is a very good football team. And I'm not in any way setting us up to prepare for a loss because I
Mm-mm.
do think
I
we're a
know what
better
you're saying.
team than them.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I think we're a better team, and I think we have the tools in place to get them a problem, to get them all the problems that they need, man.
I agree. Look, I agree. And here's, kind of along the same line, right? Is Bama's brand trending in the wrong direction? And the reason I'm going to bring this up is that when I had season tickets when Shula was there, and I
Hmm.
wasn't making any money, so it was hard to buy those season tickets. Like it was always when that bill came in, that Tide Pride bill, I hated it because then I was like, looking at the games, and we didn't play Wisconsin or Florida State. It was no Oklahoma's coming to town. It was like
Right,
LSU and Auburn, and then maybe a couple other games, but they weren't good schedules. And then Saban came, and the tickets were like impossible to get. Like you couldn't get season tickets. Now, here we are 2 seasons without Coach Saban, and the Wisconsin game, like tickets were like, you could buy them for like $30, $20 before the game on like the ticket sites. And
right.
I'm going, like what I hope that's not the direction we're going. And then when you see we're going to Athens and they're not picking up our games for game day. That's the brand part of this. And it kind of goes back to why this one's so important and kind of where DeBoer is right now. Greg Burns' whole career is like, well, at least at Alabama, is a lot of it has to do with how this football team does. And if they
Right.
win, he's fine, right? But if they start losing, you're already seeing a diminish in the ticket value. right? And then on top of that, like I know it's just 1 week, but you know, it just doesn't, when you're ranked 17th and then like it's like the press conferences, when Saban was there, nobody missed a press conference, now they're boring. I mean, it's like, it is what it is, man. I mean, like, it's so the way you turn that around is you win football games.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think we'd be singing a different tune if we didn't get skull drugged by Florida State the way we did. And it's as
It's
simple as
terrible.
that. Because I don't think, like, yeah, DeBoer's been a winning coach everywhere he's been, sure, but he still doesn't get the benefit of a doubt that Nick Saban would get.
Right.
Because if that was to happen to a Nick Saban team, I don't think anybody would bat an eye, right? Just be like, all right, that was just a bad showing for our guys. And we know Nick is going to hit the ground
We
with his
didn't
hair
have
on
those games,
fire.
though, Shank. We didn't have. I mean, we got beaten pretty bad in some games, like that one
Yeah,
national championship game where Tua was throwing
yeah,
all the interceptions. But you know what? We still moved the ball for like 400 yards. Like we were
right,
still going up and down the field. We just
right.
made mistakes, right? They had big plays. It was their day. It'd take your hat off to them, right? But I never felt like we quit. We had some of those bowl games where we lost in the Iron Bowl, or we lost in the SEC championship game, and we weren't going to play for a national championship. And you could tell that, you were probably on some of those teams. It was like, you know what? F this, but it never felt like we didn't we didn't care. It just felt like, well, you guys were so used to the intensity of hey, our goal is to win a championship. And all of a sudden, it was like that goal was gone. But I never felt like the Florida State game, where I felt like, man, this team is they're as soft as tissue paper. And the last 2 weeks, they've been really good. So I'm just, and then, obviously with the week off. So, but I feel like this game is so important in just that aspect of things, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely, man. Because honestly, Mick, I feel like this game going to show us if we pretenders or not, dog. Have we made actual improvement? Have we made that leap since the Florida State game to where we can go into big games like this and poke our chest out and play some good football? Man, so I'm looking forward to it, man. This game's gonna show a lot to me. Just because it is the start of the seasonal gauntlet. The SEC gauntlet is upon us,
Yeah.
man, and what a hell of a way to start it
Yeah.
against Georgia. And moving forward, this game here is going to tell us a lot about the rest of the season, man. Now, I think that's the most stressful part about it. Because test number one we failed, and so test number two is probably even worse than the first damn test.
Yeah.
And so I hope we've done some studying and we've stilled our resolve. And we're ready to step in between those lines because it's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah.
But,
It is.
we've seen Georgia against Tennessee, they'll go down, but that's not gonna stop them from fighting. They plan to win to the very last second. And I feel like that's part of the fourth quarter process that, Kirby took over there with him, man. He's
Yeah.
made that his own. They live by that. And hopefully we still got some of that left in us, man, and we're ready for this dogfight and we can go make it happen.
I love that. That's what I hope. That's what I hope too. Because last year, when Bama was just beating them up and down the field, they came out and played their ass off in the second half and actually had the
Yep.
lead for like a blink of an eye, and it was fun. Like it was. And I remember Kirby at the end of the game, like, hey, you know what? We need to be happy that we came out and they won the SEC. Went out and
Yep.
beat Georgia. They made the college football playoff. We won that game. And I'm looking at us thinking, you know what? We're ready to turn the corner. And all we did was just piss it away. Like we go out again to the Vanderbilt game, not prepared, didn't think they could beat us. We go into the Oklahoma game back in position to make the playoff, to make the SEC championship game, not prepared. The Michigan game was another disaster. Florida State game was a disaster. So it's finding the consistency that you have to have these days, and it's tough. Look, I mean, this SEC to me is the toughest league in college football. But if you're going to lead this program, and everybody that ever walks in the doors compared to Bear Bryant and Nick Saban, because it's Alabama. I just think that the effort part of it is something that is free, and I think that they can get it right. I really do, and I think this could be the game that you like you're saying, you see it and you feel really good about it.
Yep, yep. I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping so. Just because, golly, man, I'd really hate for us to go out there and play shitty, because that's just gonna ruin the rest of the season for me. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
man. Yeah,
It's gonna ruin it for me. I'm gonna lose all faith in them, you know,
it's hard being a
and just
fan, isn't
because,
it? It's hard
yeah,
being a fan.
because nobody should have to get you up for games like this, dog. You just like, you should be pissing hot water every morning, ready to
Yeah,
go.
I think they'll
You're
be
like,
ready, man.
I mean, just like, and so if I see us go out there and play flat and just not be very physical and look nothing like what we've seen the past couple weeks, I'm gonna be highly disappointed, man. But I don't think that's the case. I think we understand the severity of this game, especially with what we want to accomplish later on this season. It starts here. This is biggest game so far. We gotta have this win. And I think once we get this win, it's gonna give us the momentum we need going forward to finish the season strong and get to where we're trying to get to, and that's the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, and that's it. And this is Ty Simpson's chance to win any doubters over on the team. Not to say that there is any, but this is his chance to go out there, do what he's done the last 2 weeks, and just let everybody know, hey, you know what? We got the kind of team that can win the whole
Yep.
thing. And he's the kind of guy that can lead us there. And the most dangerous thing in any level of football is a quarterback that's that accurate. And he's just, like you said, and the coaches have said this, he's just got to let it rip. You know, he's got to have confidence and trust, because he's got playmakers everywhere, and let those
Gotta let
guys
it
do their
fly.
thing. Yeah, just let
Yeah,
it fly.
man. Shoot, Ty. You
Yeah,
gotta let that thing go, dog. You gotta let it go. We'll live with the consequences. Yeah, but hey, we can't complete a pass if we don't throw the ball.
that's right. That's right. Guys, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi, and we appreciate them. The Timeout Sports Lounge, Vegas-style sports book, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham, and we appreciate them. We even got a commercial with Jake Coker on here. Also, I want to tell you guys this again. Make sure that you guys hit that QR code there. Join Mick Nation. We got an order of hats now to give away. We got some T-shirts, and I know you guys want some of that gear. It's all free though. You get to play games and pick games and all of that stuff. And then welcome Kalshi to the crew, to the show. I found the Bama, so they think they got their betting line is that Georgia's got a 58% chance to win. So at Kalshi, go there. And again, let me throw this up here for you. It's a you get $10, basically $10 free play when you use our promo code Bama Tailgate and put down $100. But you can, like we talked about before, I mean, there's just so many different things on there that you can mess with. Everything. They can bet on everything. This is the place where you hear all the stuff and they're like, oh, like you can bet on the coin flip, you know. I've never bet during the Super Bowl, like I'm gonna bet on the coin flip. Never bet on any of that stuff. Shank, you and I will get back together later this week.
Absolutely.
And we'll be that much closer to football. But Sunday rollback is always the first show of the week that kind of lets everybody know that we got college football ahead, and this is one of the big games, Alabama against Georgia in Athens. Any final thoughts?
Oh man. Nah, man. Shout out my boy Cochran at West Alabama. They're off to a great start this season. Um, Shout out to the Davidson Warriors, 2-2 on the season right now. Coming off a great win Friday, getting ready for McGill. Yeah, man, that's about it. All the kids, eat your veggies, do right in school. Um, all the adults, it's Sunday, have a drink. I've been drinking Eagles Rare this whole time. I love it. I love it.
Sipping back.
Mick actually got me my first bottle of Eagles Rare, and I've been hooked ever since. And so
It's really good stuff.
appreciate you, man. It is. It is. Shout out my wife. Hey, babe, even though she's in the other room. Shout out the kids. Love y'all. Oh yeah, today's Sunday. Thankful to God for allowing me to do this pod. Thankful for being here. Thankful that I'm able to coach, be on the pod, talk football with you guys. Yeah, blessings and love to everybody. Roll
Yeah.
Tide.
Hey, same here, man. And I was thinking about this. I've got the Charlie Kirk funeral on in here, and I'm thinking about being at Alabama. And Dr. Alza Coffey was my political science teacher, and two of my best friends came from that class. Kelvin Gosa, police officer from Gordo, still, and he might even be watching because he watches, and I love him, man. And we didn't agree on everything, but we always agreed on being friends, like being in these classes and getting this. And I know you would have loved that too, Shank. Like the verbal jousting, and then we would laugh at the end of the day, and conservatives, liberals, people that were really strong on this and strong on that. And what you found out was that we all had a lot more in common than we didn't, and I can remember being in these classes at Alabama and getting in there in the first couple classes, you would look around the room and somebody would say something, and then you'd be like, man, I don't know if by the end of the class, you're like, all of us are going out to eat afterwards, and I love that culture, man. I love that about Alabama. And I just hope that that's the kind of country that I want to live in, where we all kind of see each other for whatever it is that we all have in common, and that we're not afraid to go and say what we really think in situations, So, shout out to all those people that are mourning right now on that. And just me remembering like how much of an influence Dr. Muhammad Al-Zakhafi was in my life. And I know some of you guys that went to Alabama, I took 5 classes of his. I mean, they were like 40-page papers. And we disagreed on a lot. He would come in and be like, Mr. Gillispie, it's your turn to retort. When I would have to retort his classes, people would quit because it was going to be like a 40-page paper, man. But Dr. A was the best. Chris Klein, and I know he watches too. He was in those classes. They were the best, man. Like you would get in there and that's kind of what I like about, I didn't even know Charlie Kirk, but I saw his videos and I'm like, man, he would have been in that class and we would have just been, kind of going at it on different stuff, That's why I love Alabama. And, so for everybody out there that's mourning that right now, I'm mourning with our country. And I just hope that we all can just continue to talk, man. And that's what makes us great. I tell, Shank, you come on. I'm like, hey, I want you to tell me exactly what you think, because that's what makes this show go. And that's what makes that's what I want on this channel. I don't have to agree with you, but I'll tell you what, I'll probably laugh because you crack me up and have a good time. So anyway, but thank you guys for being part of what we do here on a daily basis. And let's all enjoy Jake Coker. Roll Tide, everybody.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game. Let's roll. In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll. Let's roll.
We're presented by Bod Coach, and you can tell I'm slimming up over here, and it's because of Bod Coach. This is absolutely amazing. It's your personal trainer that is with you 24/7. So when I go to hotels or when I'm on the road, I type in, hey, look, I got equipment. This is what I have. And it'll make a workout specifically for me, what I want, what exercises I want. When I'm at home or I'm in a hotel and there's no way I can get to the gym, it'll say, hey, this is what I want to work on today. And it sends you personalized workout plans. It's really awesome. And they contacted me a few weeks ago to be a spokesman. I said, well, I want to try this. Bod Coach is fantastic. Like I use it all the time. I mean, and if I'm telling you, man, like it makes working out when you are on the go like me so much better. Just because I don't always know I didn't play football at Alabama. I didn't have Scott Cochran yelling, yeah, and telling me what workouts to do. So anyway, I'm going to put in the body on the YouTube all about Bod Coach. Get you guys signed up there, but tell them you heard it on Bama.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world!
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.